Hello and welcome to an episode of Clark Talks About Things and Stuff, where I talk about things and stuff. So the deal is that today's actually a holiday. Yes, I'm filming it today that I'm uploading it. Yeah. But anyways, today's a holiday. It is Christian Love Day. We need the context onto that and to why this is the greatest holiday to ever exist. So, for some reason, lately I've been watching a ton of Sonichu content. And by lately, I more so meaning ever since I stopped making clips. That's basically the timeline of events. But yeah, basically, I feel like I know a lot about Sonichu, and I have no way of like showcasing it. And then February 14th, 24th around, and I was all like, why not? Let's talk about Sonichu. Particularly all the Sonichu lore that I can remember in order. Now, of course, I won't be diving that much into Chris Chan's lore because, let's be real here, Chris Chan lore, while it is kind of intertwined with Sonichu, and I will talk about some stuff, that's not the focus of this video. And to prepare for this video, I have not watched any videos as of late on Sonichu. I am doing everything from memory. I did not refresh myself before I decided to hit record. I am only looking at my OBS screen. So let's do it. This is gonna end great, I know. But yeah, also, probably controversially, I will not be editing this video, mainly because I wanted to have the done in one take kind of deal. Because the deal is, again, is that I just wanted to do it in one take. I just wanted to record this, like, probably multi-hour long video, one take, and whatever happens, happens. So, let's begin. So, first off, is that we gotta start at the very beginning. And that, of course, is Sonic Adventure 1 for the Dreamcast. Play the entire game. I'm not joking. And while you're playing the game, you have to keep in mind, god damn, there are so many Pokemon in this game. There are just so many Pokemon. I'm surprised this isn't called Pikachu in Sonic Adventure. Obviously. But yeah, anyways, you play through all of the story mode, and then you get to Chaos. Once you get to Super Sonic, stop playing because that's where Sonichu begins. That's the real important shit. So, about 5 miles away, there is a boy Pikachu. Not a man Pikachu, a boy Pikachu specifically. I don't know why it was a boy Pikachu specifically, not just a male Pikachu. I don't know. Because boy and male are synonyms. I'm getting hung up on this. There's lots more to hang up on. But anyways, basically Chaos is invading Station Square 5 miles away. A Pikachu is there, which I don't think 5 miles is really that long, particularly because, I don't know, a giant water leviathan decided to flood an entire coastal town. You know, I'm assuming that pretty much any if there were Pokemon involved in the Sonic universe, I bet a decent amount of them would fucking die after Chaos attacked, but I don't know, it's Chris Chan lore, so it's Chris Chan we're talking about, so not a lot of things are going to make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, again, I don't think any Pikachus are going to be surviving that. Then again, Surf is a move, and we never really get any context on how Pokemon can just do Surf, so whatever. Anyways, basically, then the Pikachu runs up to the battle, sees it's like, oh my god, this giant, like, cone of water, because Chaos is obviously drawn very poorly. It looks like shit, and and now this giant flying yellow hedgehog is going to fucking smack me in the face, and he does. And then they create something known as the Chaotic Rainbow. I'll complain more about this later, but basically, this turns Pikachu into a Sonic character, because why not? But anyway, somewhere that's not 5 miles away, we have a girl Raichu. Again, not a female Raichu, a girl Raichu. Why and how, I do not know. But anyways, she's being kept after her Pokemon trainer, Kel. And yeah, she's a character, I guess. But anyways, basically, Rose Chu, she gets hit by the rainbow, and then she becomes Rose Chu, which is very interesting. I mean, like, why specifically Amy Rose? Like, I don't know about any other female hedgehog characters in this universe. I guess outside of, like, Surge, maybe, but that was written after Sonichu, obviously, so fuck if I know, okay? I don't know. Like, why Rose? I don't get it. But anyway, she wasn't involved in, like, the Chaotic Rainbow at all, I guess, outside of emotional support, maybe, for Sonic, after he took the Chaos Emeralds and used all the positive energy, some shit. I don't know, okay? I don't fucking know. Not something to get hung up about, because after she turns, that's all her involvement, so there's really no point to actually bringing her up here, outside of the context for the next part. Anyway, Sonic and Sonichu basically beat up Perfect Chaos, of course. And it literally does have like a scene in it that's like, look guys, look, my OC is pasted right here, also defeating Chaos. And yeah, no. Anyways, from that day forth, you know, they beat Super Chaos or whatever, and then basically Sonichu names himself Sonichu, with inspiration, might I add. Or at least that's what he says anyway. So yeah, that's basically Act 1 of Issue 0, which I don't know if it's a comic book term or not, but I don't think it is. Issue 0 is like, sounds stupid, okay? Issue 0 sounds stupid. Why couldn't it just be Issue 1, Chris? Why couldn't it just be Issue 1? Not important, I guess. Because, more importantly, Act 2 of Issue 0, or Episode 2, but I'm gonna go by Act 2, because why not? Okay, so Act 2, basically, we see more of Kel and Roastchu. Sonichu basically comes in being all like, I can't eat anymore, it's not as filling as it once used to be, and so basically they decide to... So Kel decides, you know what? Fuck it. I have one mutant Raichu over here. Might as well also take a mutant Pikachu from some bullshit ass rainbow. So yeah, basically, this is kind of the they meet each other and then they kiss under fireworks scene. There's not much to Act 2. As opposed to Act 1. I mean, seriously, I think it lasted like 1 minute. But anyways, Act 3 of Issue 0 involves Sonichu and Roastchu going to Quickville Mall, which I didn't mention that this place is taking place in Quickville, not Station Square, even though Station Square is like adjacent to Quickville, I think. I don't think it's ever brought up again, so it doesn't matter. But the most important thing is that basically Sonichu and Roastchu, they go to the mall. Kel was all like, don't let Roastchu spend $100 for some reason. I don't know what the hell Roastchu the hell would buy, but like... okay. Anyways, basically, stuff happens until, oh no, something actually interesting happens. And then we have a fight, yay, against this guy from Team Rocket known as Nate Cirque. You want to know what that is backwards? Christian. You want to know who's Christian? The author of this comic. You know who makes an appearance at the end of this? Christian. I mean, seriously, by that logic, my fucking evil clone that works for, I don't know, Team Skull would be fucking Kralk. Anyways, basically, Nate Cirque, Sonichu fight, and Sonichu fights a Zapdos. He just has a legendary electric type Pokemon. No biggie. But anyways, basically, in the fight, somehow, Nate Cirque gets Sonichu's DNA. And this is going to be another reason why I ask, why is this not Issue 1? Because Issue 0, I understand if you wanted to provide more backstory than, like, actually... if you wanted to perform, like, a ton of backstory, like a lore dump, like, I can see, like, Batman Issue 0 being more about Thomas and Martha Wayne, along with little kid Bruce. And Issue 1 is where Thomas and Martha die. But why is this Issue 0? I don't understand. I mean, it's not even like a TV show, because because a decent amount of TV shows have the pilot as Season 1, Episode 1, so what the hell's going on here? Why is this Issue 0? But anyways, basically, again, Nate Cirque, he takes the Sonichu sample, and then he runs away on his Raikou, because why not? More Electric's legendary type Pokemon he just casually has. These Pokemon never get brought up again, by the way. And then in the epilogue, specifically for this one, Christian decides to visit Sonichu, and then he calls him father. That does not make sense considering the lore. I mean, if it was Christian's Pikachu, then maybe it would make sense, but it isn't. It's just supposed to be a wild Pikachu. Sorry, a wild boy Pikachu. But, I mean, does it really matter? No. Considering the series, no. Because even, like, Kel, that Pokemon trainer that I've been mentioning up until this point, this is her last, like, major appearance. So, that's great. Alright. Issue 1, where we finally get to actually talk about Black Sonichu, or as Chris decided to name him, Blatchu for short. Also, yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say, sorry. But anyways, basically, issue 1 begins with Giovanni and Ivo Robotnik teaming up for some reason to create the ultimate Sonichu. I have no clue why they want to do this, but they do regardless. But anyways, one of the idiot scientists decides to accidentally throw in a bit of cherry cola into the mix, thus turning the pigment of his fur black and red. And Christian already spoiled this joke in the last issue when they were doing like this character sheet that I didn't care to mention because it has nothing to do with anything. Plus, it also provides fucking spoilers, Chris. What the fuck? So yeah. Anyways, basically, again, cherry cola and all that. But, like, who's the scientist that fucked this shit up? Who is they? Because, at least when it came to Mewtwo, it was, like, an incident involving multiple scientists. And, like, I mean, Team Rocket has captured the Silphco employees to do their bidding before. I think that's how Mewtwo was made. I don't know, his lore changes between the games and the anime. But anyways, who's the stupid scientist that did this? Because on the Eggman side, we don't really see any real scientists. Maybe even it'd be like at most egg pawns, but it's like an actual person. So I would assume Ivo would have done it, but he's not stupid enough to drop cherry cola into the sample. So like, I don't know. Basically, Sonichu and Black Sonichu, they're both like, you know, similar power or whatever. No one cares. Basically, Black Sonichu gets trained, and that's it for Act 1. Act 2 in issue 1, which, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot. So, again, if we were supposed to have this sample for Sonichu in order to create Black Sonichu, then why is the last issue, again, issue 0? Because this is still kind of vital information, Chris. I mean, if we were just turning in, you know, this is issue 1, remember? So, if we just tuned into this, and then we just saw this introduction to this new villain, then, like, who the hell's our hero? Why would we care? How did they get the sample for this new hero? I don't know. Unless you read issue 0, of course, which issue 0, again, is the first issue. So basically, none of this shit makes any goddamn sense. That's a common theme with Sonichu. But anyways, Sonichu and Rosechu are basically running past Station Square, I think after the mall or something. And after a belated surprise attack, they decide to kidnap Rosie. And at the same time, Sonic the Hedgehog decides to smash right in to Sonichu's skull. And then they have a back and forth conversation that's very confusing. But anyways, after that, they then team up. That's the entirety of Act 2. That's literally it. It's like 5 pages, probably. I don't remember. What a shocker, also I'm readjusting. Alright. Okay, Act 3 of issue 1. So basically, Sonic and Sonichu make it to, I don't know, this random storage container. I don't know exactly what it is. It's just a random gray unmarked building. I'm assuming it's either the Rocket headquarters or, I don't know, some kind of Eggman's Eggman's concrete bunker. I don't know. But anyways, basically, we have a fight here. Sonichu gets trapped under some glass. Plexiglass specifically, but don't worry, S&T decides to break it. Sorry, just referencing better fan-made Sonic characters, that's all. But anyways, the point is that Sonic beats up Eggman and all that, frees Sonichu. They decide to do this thing called a, quote, zap cannonball on this character that they, again, just introduced, known as Metal Sonichu. Sonichu rescues Rosie, and Metal Sonichu gets thrown all the way to the moon. This is gonna be brought up in like 10 issues from now. I'm not joking. It's gonna take like 10 or 11 issues to get back to this plot point. Fuck. Anyway, again, they rescue Rosichu or whatever. And yeah. I don't know. Black Sonichu gets his teeth knocked out. Okay. And I just want you guys to savor this moment because this is basically the last time we ever see most of these characters. Not Black Sonichu or Metal Sonichu, even though I just said it takes a while for him to return. No, I mean Ivo Robotnik, Giovanni, and Sonic. We basically never see these characters again, so like just pretend they didn't even exist. Anyways, now it's time for issue 2, or issue 3, however the fuck you want to put it. Now, issue 2 introduces something known as the Chaotic Combo. The annoying part about the Chaotic Combo is that, again, like, what the fuck? Where did these people come from? These are all Sonichus and Rosechus and all that stuff. So, where the hell they come from? Well, as it turns out, from that stupid rainbow, they decide, hey, why not 5 eggs? We're going to throw 5 eggs all across the world, and then these 5 Sonichu will be doing things and stuff. That's basically all of Act 1, just introducing us to Wild Sonichus, the grass type, and Mother Venusaur, Father Scyther, who cares? Mother Swampert for Bubbles, Nuns for Angelica, Punchy gets grown up in an Asian dojo and has Asian eyes because Chris Chan's racist at this moment in time. And then we also have Magic Chan Sonichu, who is literally trained by Mewtwo. You can't get any more Marisu than that. Getting trained by Mewtwo's protege? Come on, man. Anyways, that's not important. What is important is Act 2. And this is kind of where my memory starts to kind of fade when it comes to Sonichu. This is kind of where everything kind of starts to blend together. Not helping is that I've been skipping the sub-stories and all that kind of stuff because I don't want to focus on that. Basically, it's just moments in Chris's life where he fucked up, but then he wrote him in a comic book to make himself look good or something like that, so yeah. But anyways, Act 2 of Issue 2 has this character known as, I think, Flame the Sunbird, if I remember correctly. Basically, it's just some random bird character, random red bird character that looks more like Kazooie than anything. Anyways, they live on Sunstone Island, where they have this giant sunstone. But then, oh no! Black Sonichu steals it! Oh no! Now no one can evolve into Blossom! I don't know. Are there any good Sunstone Pokemon to not mention? Anyways, basically this is the formation of the Chaotic Combo and all that. Because, of course, Black Sonichu would just run through all of these areas where they would just, exist. Why not? But yeah, anyways, they all meet. Sonichu's also there, I guess. They beat up Blake. I don't know. That's it. I don't know. I don't think there's anything else outside of that. I think this is where Chris Chan starts to write really, really, really long versions of his stories. So yeah, I think I'm just going to move on to, again, issue 3, which, again, issue 4, but I also don't remember anything past this point, up until issue 8. And there's a reason why I remember shit in issue 8. So I'm just basically going to go through all the plot points that I remember from this inside issues. Okay. The next issue is about Chris Chan, because this is where he actually gets put into the story. Because why not? In a series about Sonichu, why not involve the creator? Anyways, the creator basically, Sonichu basically comes across these ancient ruins. Sorry, the ancient ruins, and then they awaken the ancient prophecy. Like, obviously, that was a joke, but, like, seriously, ancient, Chris, really? Ancient? Anyways. Basically, the prophecy is all like, when one guy combines one rat with another rat, that means that they made rat 2, and that means that they have the ultimate creator power or something. I don't fucking know. But anyways, deal is that, since Chris Chan created Sonichu, that means that he's real cool guy now, and he gets to have all the sex all the time ever. Obviously, I'm joking here because Chris Chan will never have sex. That's not their own goddamn mother. But anyways, basically, they take this like medallion or whatever. I think it's a Sonichu. I think this is the origin of the Sonichu medallion, if I remember correctly. Even though it's really stupid considering the fact that we had Chris Chan Sonichu in like a callback comic like a bit ago, along with Chris Chan actually turning into a Sonichu in one of the sub episodes. So I guess it's out of order. Wow, we gotta piece together the timeline. It's like fucking Five Nights again. No. But anyways, basically they realize, Chris Chan is the ultimate blah blah blah. And I guess because Chris got a 23andMe at some point, they decided, and they found out they were like 0.3% Cherokee. They were all like, I need to write a Cherokee plot into my Sonichu comic. And so basically, Chris Chan is now related to a Cherokeean chief, and two more people also are here. We have Sarah Hammer and Wesley. Now, these are real people that Chris Chan apparently knew, Sarah being a friend of his, and Wes being her boyfriend. And Wes is a magician, and Chris Chan is like a 25-year-old virgin writing Sonichu comics. Granted, I'm almost a 23-year-old virgin talking about Sonichu comics, but like, at least I didn't make them. Anyways, basically, those two also get visited by their Cherokeean roots, I guess, because, of course. And hey, remember when I said that, again, Sarah was kind of like Chris Chan's current crush at the time? Well, as it turns out, Sarah is a Cherokeean princess, and Wesley is a enemy to the Cherokee. Can you make it any more obvious, Chris? Holy shit. But anyways, and Wesley decides to attack Chris Chan because why the hell not? And he turns into his giant orange basketball, ready to kill them. But during the Stone Age... Anyways, Sarah Hammer decides to come down and basically stop the whole fight, and basically almost kills Wes, and then she's all like, you're an asshole, Wes! That's it! I'm breaking up with you! And then Wes is all like, oh no, I broke it up! And Chris Chan's all like, guys, there's this rock monster, we gotta go beat it up into Quickville. And then they go beat it up. That's all I remember from this issue. Outside of, again, Sarah being all like... I was like, I have a new boyfriend. And Chris is all like, how could you? I'm your only man. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't turn into that kind of person, but like still. More importantly, we move on to probably issue 5, where basically Sarah is getting married off to some person. I don't remember who. I don't know if I care. Chris is at the wedding, but as an astral projection because... he wasn't invited. How much of a friend are you really, Chris? How much of a friend are you really? But anyways, Wesley decides to invade because why the fuck not? And I guess this was like Chris Chan's like Yu-Gi-Oh phase or something, because bro's got a dual disc now, and he's going to be using Yu-Gi-Oh cards in this issue specifically. Absolutely no one else, and yes, I do mean no one else does Chris Chan actually use this goddamn dual disc again. So what's the point in even like having this here outside of just like, if this is not going to become like a thing that you even just like slightly reference, like what's the point in even bringing it up? You have a Sonichu form. Why the fuck are you doing this? Anyways, in this battle against Wesley, because he kidnaps Sarah, and yeah, basically Chris Chan doesn't know how to fucking use trap cards and all that stuff, so that's really cool. But anyways, we also get introduced to this person. who is a Sailor Moon. I think last I remember, they're a troll, ones who basically fucked with Chris's head so much. It's just all like, oh my god, a woman's interested in me. Oh, they turn out to be a troll. Aww. And for some reason, he just didn't realize that people were doing this to him for a while, or just kept being interested, because there's always the off chance. What if this person's actually interested in me? That kind of stuff, which is never the case. Take it from me, I've never had a relationship in my life. Anyways, basically, this person, who is a Sailor Moon character, fan-made Sailor Moon character, not actual Sailor Moon, decides to come in along with this skunk. They exist. Anyways, basically they save Sarah, and oh my god, Chris gets the bouquet. That means that he's gonna be married next, even though that's only for women. Technically, that's always a tradition for the women in the group, not necessarily for the men. And look at where we are now. Chris Chan still not married. But anyways, after that point, I think it's time for issue 6. I don't remember anything that happens in issue 5, I'm going to be completely honest. Issue 6 has something very interesting, though. So, when it comes to Chris Chan, one of the things about him is that he kind of has a problem with death. Obviously, death is a very hard thing to come to grips with. Heck, I even made a video when my dog died. My first dog, Ginger, she died last year, back in June, and I made a whole video in memoriam of her. You know what I didn't do? I didn't put her in my goddamn comic series, because that's what Chris Chan does. Ugh. So yeah, Chris Chan basically puts this dog, Patty, into his Sonichu universe. What happens is that this dog's all like, oh man, I wish I could be with Chris just that little bit more often. And I guess she's listening on a 4-leaf clover or something. And then she turns into a Sonichu character. And then Chris's first immediate reaction is, you need to be hidden. You need to stay in Quickville and never come out ever again. I'm not joking. I'm being serious here. She just is now existent here. Anyways, basically, I think I skipped a fight or something, because the deal is that we have a MacGuffin to go collect, something known as the Sonichu balls. Now, what the fuck are the Sonichu balls? Well, as it turns out, they're literally just a version of the Chaos Emeralds. But huh? The Chaotic Rainbow, created Sonichu and Rosechu, so it makes sense that, the chaotic energy from the Chaos Emeralds would hit the Pikachu, hit the Raichu, and then bam, there we go. We have our Sonichu and Rosechu. Where do these Sonichu balls, how did they were made? How did they were made? Sonichu balls are one thing. Those are a stupid special Pokemon type that you can catch Sonichus, and who cares? You don't want one on your team. They suck. But, I mean, what are the special Sonichu balls? What are they supposed to do? Apparently, I guess, I don't know, rescue Chris's, made up sister or something. Yeah, he wrote in, a sister to himself. And, her first appearance was in a freaking Yu-Gi-Oh card. So, things are going great. This person's mentally stable. So, basically, we gotta go collect the balls and all that stuff. And, I'm being serious here, I don't remember anything else until issue 8. I think we have a fight or something. Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, so basically, I think I remember a little bit now. So, Chris Chan, they figured out that one of the stupid Sonichu balls are in the past, because, as it turns out, apparently, when Chris was a kid, he got hit in the head with a basketball and decided to make up this character known as Bionic the Hedgehog. We'll talk about him in a little bit. But basically, it wasn't a basketball that hit him. It was a Sonichu ball. Holy shit. So basically, they have to go around and now collect all the Sonichu balls and all that stuff. Inside the past and all that. So Magic Chan, who of course has the power of time travel, why would he not? He has the power of time travel. And I'm going to edit my camera just a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's a bit better. Okay, so basically, Magic-chan brings everyone to the past, meets younger Chris, kind of, sort of, maybe. And again, it wasn't a basketball, it was a Sonichu ball, because I don't know. Because I don't legitimately know. But anyways, Chris-chan, from the past, then envisions Bionic the Hedgehog. Now, who exactly is Bionic the Hedgehog, outside of being Chris-chan's first Sonic OC? He's an orange Sonic the Hedgehog that plays basketball. That is his personality. It begins and ends there. I'm not joking. That is basically it. Also, there's like a piece that says, "I defeated my autism." No. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that basketball hitting your head probably made your autism worse. I'm going to be real here. Obviously, I'm joking, but like, fucking hell. Anyways, basically... there's like a short Beavis and Butthead segment. I don't know why. But anyways, more importantly, Chris-chan, when traveling back through time, is holding 2 of the Sonichu balls or whatever. And, he's stuck in the time void. They got out of Magic-chan's protective bubble. Oh no, what are they gonna do? They're now stuck in the time void. That means he's now gonna be written out of the next couple issues. No! Okay, and... he shouldn't have been in the fucking thing to begin with. But anyways, I think that's it. I think that's our setup for issue 8. Okay, so issue 8 is very interesting because this was basically the moment where Chris-chan was discovered by the internet, and this is where we learn about the horrors of the internet. So... what if I told you this episode started on Rosechu and Sonichu porn? I'm not even fucking joking here. That is quite literally what happens. We have a very uncomfortable sex scene between these 2 characters because Chris-chan decided to do it. Because people were making art of Sonichu and Rosechu, I guess with swapped genders or something. You know, have Rosechu have a dick and all that kind of stuff. Because evidently... the Raichu... I want to talk about this, I guess I'll talk about this right now. Apparently, the Raichu that Chris-chan drew was actually a male Rosechu. Sorry, a boy... a boy Raichu as opposed to the female gender difference Raichu. Which, I don't know, man. I think this was I think the original Sonichu was written, like, before... like Gen 2 or Gen 3, whenever the fuck they introduced this goddamn stupid bullshit ass feature. Like, let's be real here, it doesn't mean anything. This whole feature is really stupid. Like, I'm not trying to defend Chris-chan or anything here, but like, this whole, we're gonna try and make Rosechu trans and all that stuff, because he specifically said a girl Raichu, first off. And secondly, gender difference is like a stupid thing in Pokemon. Let's be real here. How many times do you draw Pikachu with a black heart tail? You don't. That's the point. Because Blackheart Pikachu doesn't exist. What I meant to say was just a heart-shaped tail. That's what I meant to say. But even so, heart-shaped tail Pikachu doesn't get a whole lot of representation because... and the regular striped one is because that was, A, the original design of the character, and B, like, it's a gender difference. Who fucking cares? Like, seriously, the only one I can think of is, like, Venusaur, and it had, like, a little bud at the top of its flower, and, like, the flower had probably, like, a different pattern or something. But, like, that's it. Like, who cares? Like, who cares, like, if Rose, she's trans and all that stuff, even if that case. But, yeah. Again, this series, has been rated TVY 7. Not specifically this video. I'm more so meaning Sonichu, or at least that's what Chris likes to imagine that Sonichu is. A TVY 7 show. Again, this episode starts off with Rosechu and Sonichu having sex. Why? I don't know. I legitimately don't know. All I do know is that he also had a sex scene between him and Ivy in certain specials, mainly Special 3. Like, Special 1 was about rescuing her, Special 2 was about marrying her, and Special 3 was about fucking her. That's all you need to know on those. But for the Sonichu Rosechu stuff, I'm not quite sure why he decided to do this. Now, there is a censored version of this comic that basically omits the whole drawn sex scene stuff, with just like with a black background, some text or whatever. But if you're talking about Sonichu, you're going to be talking about every aspect of Sonichu, including talking about Sonichu Rosechu porn that the creator legitimately drew, to affirm that one character is a guy and one character doesn't have a dick. So yeah, anyways, after the really important and vital sex scene, we then have a thing. We then have the plot actually beginning because surprisingly, it doesn't start with Sonichu and Rose True having sex. Okay, so basically, this website known as 4 Cent Garbage has been uploading pickle pics of Rose Chew, even though that she's all like, "What the fuck? I ain't got no dick." And so basically, in protest, she's decided to send naked pictures of herself. Yeah, that's gonna help. I'm being serious here. What the fuck, Chris? How does that help in the slightest? How does that help? Oh man, this person's got a dick. Well, I don't. I don't know. Anyways, Chris decides after that didn't work, obviously. After that fucking shit didn't work, they decide to go to the website known as 4 Cent Garbage. And they bring Wild along because they are all like, oh my gosh, there's a Sonichu ball in there. No one cares. Because we get in and we meet Satan. Like a literal devil is like in the lobby, and he's all like, "You need to go to 60 floor, floor 66 plus 6 because 666." But like, it's actually just floor 72. I don't fucking know why there's 72 floors. Oh, wait, I think I do know why there's 72 floors. Because Chris Chan decides to throw more fucking porn in the mix. Yeah, I'm not joking. He literally throws more goddamn porn in the mix, including Charmeleon bondage. Yes, that is a real sentence that I just said. Charmeleon bondage porn is a real thing that gets access here. And I must say, after looking at all the stuff here, I'm very thankful that I never visited 4chan. Holy shit, it looks like a cesspool. Especially because this was like late 2000s 4chan where Pedo Bear was a thing. So yeah, I'm gonna move on now. Because yeah, Wild goes around, tries to find the Sonichu ball, but more importantly, Sonichu and Rose finally meet the top and meet this person known as Jason. Now, they appeared in the last issue just kind of to tease them, but again, TVY7 franchise here, folks, and this person, Jason, has a sex slave. Age-appropriate sex slave, ladies and gentlemen. An age-appropriate sex slave. Sonichu and Rose decide to ask Jason to put the page down and all that because, again, this is basically a metaphor for, again, 4chan, along with this site known as Encyclopedia Dramatica, which Chris had a lot of beef with back in the day, and Jason was the person who ran it and all that shit. That's all you really need to know about that. Anyways, they decided, they couldn't convince Jason, so they decided to leave. Jason throws a pickle at Rose Chu. She then goes ultimate feral bitch mode and decides to claw his goddamn skull while also shoving her pussy in his face. And he doesn't die from that for some reason, because dark powers keep him alive, I guess. And then that's basically they leave the tower, and that's basically it. Also, Wild Chu got a stupid ball, yay. But more importantly, we have to talk about the epilogue. So, okay, after the 4 Cent Garbage incident, Roshu decides to get all the female characters, all the female Roshu characters, which sounds redundant, I know, together to do a naked photo shoot. I want to preface this, a naked photo shoot. And the deal is that obviously we don't see that, thankfully, but unless I guess Chris decided to upload like actual pictures onto 4chan and all that, which I've never heard anyone talk about, so that's a good thing. Or even if this was like a threat or something to them. But anyways, we get introduced to 2 new characters. One of them is a fan character that someone made, some kind of minor Sonic. I don't know if it's a Sonichu character originally or just a regular Sonic OC. But basically, they're ground type. They are drills and stuff. Yeah. And again, more importantly, and the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because one of the characters that was interested in doing this photo shoot is 14 years old. And Rose Chu says, but because of those dumb laws, we can't have you be here. Anyways, let's move on to Act 2, because Act 2 has a story that's about as stupid. Now, or just at least another bit of just insanity. So basically, now it's spring break, I guess. And, oh yeah, I forgot to mention this, didn't I? Okay, so the whole thing involving all the sex and shit in this issue, you might remember back in issue 0, they said that Sonichu and Rosechu are 16 and 15 respectively. So is this... No, actually. The deal is that in this issue, I think... yeah, they did. In this issue, they decided to age Sonichu up to 20 years old, and I think Rosechu's 18 now. Sorry, 19 now. That's what I meant to say. Oops. But yeah, basically, these characters are now adults. I'm not quite sure where this, like, 4-year-old time skip... 4 years time skip happened. I'm assuming it's because Chris Chan's in the time void and these characters can actually age or something like that. I don't know. What I do know is that in this little montage, we also get to see Black Sonichu again. Holy shit, he's actually doing something. And Bubbles Rosechu. These two characters are going to hook up. Because I guess it's Steven Universe rules, I guess. And that's basically the context for the next bit, Spring Break 09, because, yeah, basically, they're chilling at the beach. Magic Chan's all like, hey, you guys need to stop relaxing. We gotta find the fucking Sonichu balls, and there's one in the ocean. It's like the last one we need. Go get it. And then Bubbles is like, fine, I'll go get it. And basically promises Black Sonichu that they're gonna fuck later. Literally what they say. Also, they're going to be at Pier 69 because it's really funny. And basically, we get introduced to a new Sonichu character. Now, this is, I think, also the moment where I have to fucking ask, what the shit did this chaotic rainbow actually do? Okay. So it created Sonic from Sonic hitting the Pikachu. That makes sense to me, okay? The chaotic energy could have rubbed off on the Pikachu, turning him into a Sonic character or something, I guess. And maybe even, like, put some of its power into Sonichu to make him just that extra Mary Sue overpowered-ish. Okay, fine. This rainbow emerges and then hits this random Raichu and decides to turn her into Rosechu. Okay, that's one thing. But the problem is the whole other egg situation. Because we have 5 eggs of the chaotic combo that land in random ass places. Okay, that makes sense. Chris Chan now decided to retcon this so that a 6th egg also exists. And this time was sent to the moon. Wait a minute, the moon? Wait, are we going to see Metal Sonichu? No. We're not seeing Metal Sonichu. At least not right now. Because Sylvana Rosechu is now a character. And Sylvana Rosechu basically had to relinquish their ability to, I guess, have coitus or some shit. And become basically non-binary. And not only are they now non-binary, they're also have transformation abilities. Because why not? And because why not, also, Sylvana decides to go and fuck Black Sonichu, and because Chris decided to mention this earlier, apparently Rosechu's excrete some kind of, like, pheromone or whatever that makes you really, really, really sleepy. I don't get it either. Basically, Bubbles gets the stupid Sonichu ball, and they decide, and then she's all like, okay, time to go meet up with Black Sonichu, and then Sylvana's there trying to trick her as well too. Not quite sure exactly what the plan was here, but they had a plan, I guess. And basically, they decide to trick Sylvana by saying, hey babe, can you make an electric attack for me? It really turns me on. Yes, she is a water type, by the way. That's always been a question in the Pokemon fandom, right? Of super effective moves. have some kind, and using the sexual context would super effective moves actually like provide more pleasure. Fuck if I know is all I'm gonna be saying. All I'm gonna be, but don't bite your psychic type Pokemon, otherwise they'll fucking die. Anyways, they're going to they may Savannah Rosechu can't imitate psychic, can only do like psychic attacks, and that's about it. So yeah, basically Bubbles figures her out. She eats spinach. She Popeye arms him. She goes in the face, and then she just kind of finds Black Sonichu, or she has Sylvana teleport her there. Either or, who cares? And apparently she's in a dressing room for this character that again I have to ask the question about the fucking stupid ass rainbow. We have this character known as Jigglyami. They're a humanoid Jigglypuff that has absolutely nothing, literally nothing to do with Pikachu outside of, I guess, the anime. But like, what does this mean exactly? Like, who is this character? Why do they exist? What's their lore exactly? Like, why is there now just an anthropomorphic Jigglypuff walking around? Because that doesn't make any goddamn sense. If you're saying it's from the rainbow, fuck you, okay? Like, humanoid Pokemon also exist thanks to this stupid thing. There's like 6 eggs. There were 2 Pikachu that were transformed. And then suddenly now the whole world's Pokemon population, well, is now humanoid, even though that's not even the case, because we saw a Corphish in this issue that also wasn't humanoid. So like, what is this? What is going on? Especially since she also, Jigglyami also says, oh, hey guys, I used to have this Pikachu boyfriend, but then he ran away. Was this Sonichu? You have to answer that question, Chris. Like, is Sonichu Jigglyami's past love or something? Anyways, I guess it doesn't matter. Chris Chan wrote a song here. It sounds like shit because no one knows how the actual melody goes. So yeah. That was basically issue 8. Holy shit. Oh man. Shit, bro, that bad. Count how many swigs I do in this video. But anyways, at the very, very end, we finally get a scene where Chris and Chris Wilde and Magi-chan all come back together, and Chris Chan goes to save the day or something. Yeah. And then it gets repeated for issue 9. So in issue 9, basically, we cut back to basically what we just saw in issue 8. And basically, Chris is about to go and beat some people up. And from what I don't remember issue 9 all that much, but I do remember issue 10, and that's the reason until why I'm uploading this video today, exactly. So basically, in issue 9, things and stuff happen. I don't actually know. They try and rescue Crystal, who's Chris Chan's brother, sister, or whatever, from the pocket dimension that Marilee Walsh decided to trap her in. I didn't mention her until now, did I? But, like, she doesn't really have that much importance. Neither does this person known as Count Graduan, who basically allowed Sylvana to basically exist, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to keep track of everything, to be honest. And, oh my gosh, wait a minute. This is the issue where Robotnik and Giovanni come back in. Cool. I don't know. They're not like a focal point. There's just like a quick and done thing. But Relnak shows up, and then he's got a Nidoking. Because, you know, his father had a Nidoqueen. No. And Relnak is, oh god. Anyways, so they decide to oh yeah, and the way they beat up this Nidoking is they kick it in the balls. Anyways, issue 10 is a thing now where basically all hell breaks loose. So basically, first off, Chris decides to fight against the devil that we met in issue 8, And then he's all like, "My ring is now my thing that's now gonna allow me to transform between Sonichu and not Sonichu again." Because, the medallion kind of broke in the present. Again, if you wanted to actually look at Chris Chan lore, basically some trolls have him shove the medallion up his ass. Really all you need to know. And all I care to explain. Even if that's not true, that's all I'm going to explain. So yeah, that's that. And then we have Krelnak next, I think. Relnak and Chris actually fight for real, fisticuff style. And trying to remember exactly what happens. I guess I might as well also bring this up. Okay, so I know that Chris Chan fights a couple different people in this. But one thing that happens is that apparently after Chris Chan was brought to the future, he was just stuck in the time void. So then he was brought to the future in 2015, specifically 2015, where apparently they invented a vaccine that eradicates all homosexuality using Christian's blood, because of course it did. He can't just help with it. No. They had to use his blood specifically in order to create this anti-gay vaccine. Which is something perfect for the right-wing conservatives, ain't it? You get to be less gay, but you have to take it through a vaccine? Whatever will the conservative right do? But anyways, more importantly, basically, what I know is that Chris Chan uses this vaccine on Relnak. I think it's actually one of the last things that happens in the comic, or is it one of the first? I don't fucking remember. But anyways, they also decide, they beat Relnak or whatever. Third thing, they decide to destroy the 4 cent garbage building and Jason inside of it. Like I said, a lot of things happen in this issue, and there's going to be a reason for that. Basically they destroy the building. Jason flees. The two of the trolls, Clyde Cash and the other guy, decide to make out and be gay as the building collapses, and then they die. Christ. But anyways, after that, we then have this guy. Okay, so I don't know who this is. Apparently they made a comic series known as Asperchu, where Sonichu or the creator or the self-insert or whatever has Asperger's, which is a form of autism, which Chris is a high autistic virgin man with rage. But yeah. Basically, they go to this person's computer being run by an Xbox, I guess, because Chris hates Xbox. And they decide to go in and decide to help out these Asperchu characters, which are intentionally drawn worse, which is probably the best. Conversely, I think it's the best joke that Chris has ever made. Making these stand-ins for his own characters intentionally shittily drawn worse. I don't know, I just find that funny. But yeah, basically, Sonichu and Chris Chan decide to reform them. They are also a super, I guess. It doesn't matter. Darkbind finally has his love being awoken. I didn't mention Darkbind at all because he is literally the most pointless character to ever exist in history of anything ever. So yeah, basically that happens. And we can't forget about... Okay. Oh shit, I skipped dating Ed. Oh fuck. Okay, basically, there was this issue of a lovely lady. This issue basically where Chris Chan decides to showcase about his idea for a dating course, just in case someone couldn't get any tail. Someone non-specific. Someone who is a complete and total mystery. I wonder who wishes that this was a real course at school. I'm not going to do that again. My chair's creaking now. But anyways, basically, pretty much I think 3 of the chaotic combo get interested in some characters that Wild Punchy and Angelica are enrolled in to try and find a partner. Angelica has the Sneasel, who then evolves into a Weavile. Punchy has this sheep person or something. I don't actually know who it is. I think it's Ampharos or Flaffy or something. Probably Flaffy. And then Wild has this person known as has the person with the drills, the miner person that I said was based off a fan character. And they all become couples. They all have sex because why the hell not? And then, oh boy, the person, the miner, Rosechu, dies. Literally. They're at like a McDonald's or something, and then like some guy throws a Voltorb in there and then blows up. She's now dead. But don't worry, because again, Wild and that person, had sex, and now they have basically a clone. Have a female, a Rose2 character that's basically the same as the other girl. I don't remember her name, okay? I only know her as Salmonella, okay? That's all I know her as. Let's be real here. Yuri's videos were the ones I was watching. That and I guess Club Doom's. But Yuri's actually dived into the comics while Club Doom kind of summarized them, and I didn't want to summarize a summary. So, yeah. Yuri just got to issue 13 also. To my knowledge, they haven't talked about the second half. They only talked about the first half, so yay. But anyways, basically, back on track. Basically, they find the people who did this, and then, oh boy, they brutally execute them. And when I mean brutally, I mean fucking brutally. Like, geez, like it's actually like a bloodbath. And now's when we get to the point where we talk about what today is. Today is Chris Chan's birthday, first off. And in the comics, this is also a day of remembrance, as this is the day that all homosexuality, all of it, was eradicated forever. That is what Christian Love Day is. But we're still not done. Oh God, are we not done? We still have like 3 or 4 more issues to talk about. Currently, there's only 14 issues to my knowledge, because issue 15 beyond are still being worked on. Also, Chris being in jail probably didn't help. Sorry, being in jail for fucking their own mother is probably not helping. But let's move on to issue 11. Issue 11, I feel like, is another issue 8 in a way, because I remember a ton of shit that happens in this. But basically, first we got to get through the really boring Christmas special. Okay, so the really boring Christmas special, oh yeah, I almost forgot. So you want to know how long it takes from issue 10 to issue 11? 8 years. There is an 8-year gap in between these two comics. Basically, issue 10 was the end of Sonichu for quite a while, which made sense. It kind of, basically beat up most of the villains beyond repair, like Jason and all that. And, Count Graduan, Kimberly Walsh, which I think is now named Slaw Wheel. I think those are the same people. And Christian kind of just wrapped up basically everything that he wanted to do there. Or at least that's what I kind of think issue 10 was all about. If it ended there, then fine. But Sonichu 11 exists, and we got to talk about this thing where... Okay, so in this story, we have... It's really hard to talk about, I'm sorry. But, okay, so there are these baby versions... Okay, so another reason onto why... I'm sorry, just... Another reason onto why the Rosechu, is trans argument is really stupid, especially considering the fact complaining about the male Pikachu, male Raichu tail and all that. Well, the main reason why I say this is because apparently Sonichus and Rosechus are their own versions of Pokemon. They have children that are known as Sonnies and Rosies, which I'm assuming that they're the same species, especially thanks to Christian. I'm pretty sure that they're the same species, but it's kind of like a Nidoran male, Nidoran female situation where if they're born female, they grow up to be Rosechu. If they're male, they grow up to be Sonichus, that kind of stuff. I say this not only for the next issue, but also for this issue, because, and also for just for the reason, again, until why complaining about Rosechu's tail doesn't make any sense to me, because these are basically their own Pokemon, and according to Pokemon lore, well, not lore, I guess, but more so game mechanics, they have Mega Stones. Sonichu and Roschu do have Mega Stones. It's unclear if they specifically have Mega Stones, or if it's for any Sonichu or Roschu to turn into their super forms, which are stupid because they're supposed to be about as powerful as the goddamn Chaos Emeralds, but, like, whatever. Whatever, we barely even see these goddamn Sonichuites again. Sonichu Roschuites again. So that means that Sonichu and Roschu don't evolve again. So, and, like, to my knowledge, Roschu and Sonichu are on, like, the same level attack-wise. Versus, it's not like Roschu, like, is more powerful than Sonichu because they were coming from a Raichu as opposed to a Pikachu, like Sonichu did. And do you really fucking care about this argument? Because it really makes no goddamn sense. It just doesn't make sense, Chris. Give up while you're behind. Anyways, in issue 11, back to the Christmas special, because now it's a Christmas special, they decide, they have one of, okay, basically, I don't remember when, but Sonichu and Roschu had 3 kids. One of them was a Sani, 2 of them were Rosies. And basically, in this issue, Roschu, one of the daughters, I don't know who, I don't care, one of them is baking cookies with Rosie, and they have a candle cookie with a flame on it. This is important, I swear to God. That's why I'm mentioning it, because I'm not going to be mentioning pretty much anything else. Okay, fine, I guess I'll mention it. Sonichu and Robbie have a moment with this homeless person and try and help her. Black Sonichu gets profiled as a black person and becomes enraged at that. And, well, now we can continue back to the actual plot. So, anyways, this girl, she's playing with this kid. I don't know his name. I don't give a shit. They barely fucking matter. They don't matter whatsoever. I don't care. All you need to know is that they play Call of Duty, and then the Rosie decides to cause an explosion in the game. And this kid, who is Jewish, by the way, he is scared by the explosion. And then they decide, hey, how about I give you this candle cookie? Anyways, they then so yeah, obviously they're not friends anymore. And then we again, the stuff happens that I skipped over, and then now they're at a Christmas parade, at a Christmas retelling of the first Christmas story. Where not Kevin McAllister, Robbie, I think that's what's his name, Robbie? I'm trying to remember Christmas story lore. Sorry. No, the birth of Jesus. That's what we were doing here. No, I did not get confused. I just wanted to make a shitty joke. Anyways, and this character is inside. This Rosie is inside this school play, and then she miraculously evolves, and I guess just they don't have like anything for spontaneous evolution. Like, nothing exactly causes this evolution. If it was, like, high friendship upon leveling up, then maybe. Or maybe just, like, a Thunderstone or something. I don't know. But no, it's just kind of like a spontaneous evolution. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Sonichu runs back, gets clothes or whatever. And, anyways, back to the other Rosie. Because I guess that was the other Rosie, not in the school play. She gets dumped by this guy who was who suffered the Call of Duty explosion and had the candle cookie. I fucking can't, man. This Christmas special is stupid. Why does this Christmas special exist? It's so bad. Anyways, I mentioned issue 11 is kind of like issue 8 in a way, because another very important thing happens. This was the first issue where Chris decided to become trans. That's right, it's not Christian anymore, It's Christine Chandler. Oh boy. But anyways, issue 11, I think, also had this moment where Robbie Sani was playing with his sisters and all that, and this bully comes up. This bully character in this series with drawn sex and having to fight against the 4chan tower now is doing with schoolyard drama bullshit. Where this guy decides to kiss another boy right in front of a cop, and then the cop's all like, "You can't be gay, it's now illegal!" In Chris Chan's universe, anyway. Obviously, it's a jerk-off, which is like basically an evil grunt working for Count Graduan and all that, and he's like a real bad dude and all that. That's the actual context, as opposed to you're gay now, so you go to jail. But, like, remember, being gay is outlawed because of a vaccine. Outlawed for existence because of a vaccine. So anyways, yeah, basically this kind of starts Robbie Sani's, like, whole transition arc, because, spoiler alert, issue 12 is about that. Yep, issue 12 is about Robbie Sani's transition into Roberta Rosichu. Sorry to dead name him like that. But anyways, it's basically kind of a metaphor for what Chris was going through at the time, which is good because it doesn't overtly try and be like Chris at the time. Basically, Robert was all like, "You know what? I want to be like my sisters." And then he evolves and he comes on the rug. And you're telling me I should have given up at issue 0. So yeah, basically that happens. And so they go to this character. They go to Magi-chan, who's up in this tower trying to keep Quickville safe, trying to has like 6 Alakazams, all level 100. That needs to be specified for some reason. And they do things and stuff. Oh my god. They have these binaural beats that they listen to, literally affirmations to grow from a flat chest to double D's. Along with, transition meds, that too. And, like, that exists, I guess. And then they decide, after they become a girl, they decide, hey, My Little Pony. Yes, this is where My Little Pony comes into play, ladies and gentlemen. This is where shit gets bad. This is where things start to get really, really bad. But anyways, Roberta basically creates a sonic rain boom. I'm not joking. Because she can run real fast. And yeah, that's the end of that. And then we have to... Oh yeah, also Roberta Rosichu can get tail. Literally, like, pulls in some random person from a coffee shop and has sex with them. Okay. But more... we also have a reference to Christine... going in and spray and getting pepper spraying and a GameStop employee because of Sonic Boom. Unimportant, but I thought it was funny for him to her to reference that. Fuck. But more importantly is the next thing, which I'm trying to remember, because I know there was something that I was thinking about when talking about Roberta. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay. So, again, all gay, every bit of gay, has been eradicated through Chris Chan's blood vaccine. Which doesn't sound good at all. Literally just incorporate someone's blood into a vaccine. I don't think that typically goes well. I think it just causes, like, actual health problems if you have that happen to you. But yeah, anyways, I've played Plague Inc. But yeah, basically, what am I trying to say? Oh yeah, they have a Pride Festival. And what is for the Pride Festival for? Well, of course it's for the SLGBTQ. What does the S stand for? Straight. What? This is kind of like adding Blackbeard into a group of Somali pirates. Not saying that, of course, people in the LGBT community are Somali pirates. I'm just trying to use an example. But, like, Yeah, Chris, that's exactly the reason until why the LGBT community has been like oppressed and like, trans people barely have any rights and they can like, not get healthcare and all that shit. And I swear to God, Chris Chan is like like conservatives like best option, like what conservatives fear most when it comes to trans people, because this was a man. You know how like, conservatives and all that stuff, they're all like, oh my God, I can't believe that these men that fail at men's sports come to the women's sports and then rule the women's sports because they can't do the men's sports. That's what Christian literally just did. Because they couldn't get any tail as a man trying to impress a woman, they decided to become trans woman lesbian. That's that's right. He's deciding to hit up they're deciding to hit up the lesbian market in order to try and finally get some tail. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to like invalidate anyone on any kind of choice. If Chris wants to be trans, go for it. But like, I don't know if that was the reason. Again, no real ill will towards Chris, despite the fact that they fucked their own mom. They deserve all the hate. No, I'm not trying to like say you being trans is invalid, because then I'd just be about as bad as my enemies. But I don't know, man. Just Christine is, and then adding like a whole thing about like the whole SLGBTQ. Like, come on, you put straight in front when you're not even straight yourself anymore, Chris. Heck, even if you were considered straight as you were trans, as you are now a trans woman, wouldn't that technically make you gay by technicality? Because if you were going for men as a trans woman, yeah. Didn't think about it that way, did you? Anyways, sorry about getting political there. It's just that, again, they decided to eradicate all gay, and then in the next issue, they decided to literally have a goddamn pride festival. Hoo boy. Anyways, basically everyone's enjoying their time at the pride festival, and then Relnak shows up. Gay ass Relnak decides to show up and basically belittle Chris for the fact that they tried to cure him of being gay and all that. And this is also where we get Kel's mentioned. Oh my God, Kel is finally mentioned again. Basically, it was just to break up with Relnak, but that was about it. But like, she's still mentioned. Regardless, basically, they're still flaming gay, and then Chris is all like, and then he's all like, wait a minute, you're not Christian anymore. My name doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna go home. And so then he goes home. And then, this is where Count Graduan comes in. This is where Metal Sonichu comes in. Because Metal Sonichu brings stupid ass... Because Metal Sonichu is stuck on the moon, okay? But Count Graduan brings Relnak to the moon in the Metal Sonichu. And then they're all like, okay, you can continue living, you can now live this life that you now just found for yourself and just basically stop being a villain in this story. Or you can have all your powers back. And so Relnak decides to just have all his powers back. And then he and Christine fight. It's really cool. Really amazing. Yay. Basically, that's kind of the deal. I don't know. I don't think there's much more to talk about when it comes to this issue. Outside of one thing. I need a drink for this. Okay. So as it turns out, again, Chris was going through their My Little Pony phase. We now get introduced to Nightstar. This is Chris Chan's basics. Basically, this is Chris Chan's Sonichu in the My Little Pony universe. Now, to be fair, they weren't made from the Chaos Emerald, so that's one thing. They didn't come from a stupid chaotic rainbow. But more importantly, and hopefully more obviously, this, you know what, I'm going to be honest here, I don't remember anything about Nightstar. I don't think I care to remember anything about Nightstar either. Basically, they can just kind of traverse through worlds and all that stuff. The end. That's all you really need to know about her. Basically, she exists in Equestria. She can go to the Equestria Girls universe. She can go to Quickville. That's all you really need to know. Let's be real here. Also, of course, in Equestria, fucking Chris Chan is an alicorn because fuck you. Alright, issue 13. Everyone's next favorite issue. Okay, we're almost done. But the problem is that I have to tell you some backstory. Issue 13 is really hard to talk about because so much bullshit happens in this issue. Literally, don't even fully comprehend exactly what happens. At least with the other Sonichu comics, at least I can kind of understand. But there's a reason onto why it's a little bit more complicated. So as it turns out, there was this group of people known as the Idea Guys who basically decided, why don't we continue to fuck with this guy? Because, nobody has not ever fucked with this guy. And they decided to go and say that, oh god, that all universes, and all video games and movies and TV shows and books and shit like that, they all exist in like alternate timeline, reality, whatever's. And so basically they convinced Chris that something known that they are all like, Quickville actually is real, and basically they had them like buy like a bunch of like trinkets, toys, video games, that kind of stuff, all for the safety of Quickville. And then someone had to stop this by extorting $6,000 from Chris. So yeah, that was a thing that happened. But more importantly, they had them write this comic. Now, oh yeah, I didn't mention Banana Sword, did I? He's unimportant, let's be real here. But anyways, I didn't mention Banana Sword because he's just something that someone was all like, I pay $100 to put Banana Sword in. He's like, okay, why the fuck not? I get my knees. I'm not gay, but $100 is $100. I'm not gonna randomly add in a new character, but $100 is $100. Anyways, more importantly, back to issue 13. Because they were fucking with Chris here. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. All of this basically is lore for something known as Hyper Neptunia. Now, despite the fact that I'm a fat ass chunky piece of shit, I don't know anything about Hyper Neptunia. I literally know nothing outside of anime, waifu, video game console, Dreamcast. Literally nothing else. And to be honest, I think I'm fine with not knowing. I don't care. Like, I don't care about Persona enough. That's already one way enough. I don't care about anime. Hyper Neptunia, isn't that going a little too far? I feel like it's literally in this order. Like, anime, Persona, Hyper Neptunia. So, yeah. Yeah, okay. What do we talk about with issue 13? Okay. I don't know. Again, issue 13 has so much crap going on, so I might as well just kind of let you know. And it's like also very different from a lot of the other issues in this series because it's in black and white and it has like this weird title page that looks like a goddamn essay. But yeah. Anyways, this issue also has like no color for most of the characters. It's mostly Chris's line art for some reason. But yeah, issue 13, it exists. And basically, what happens is the question of the century. In issue 13, we have like this moment where we have these high school girls. Neptunia, I think, is shoved like in a locker or something. Monica from Doki Doki Literature Club is here. I don't know why. Because she's one of the CPU goddesses, ? I don't know what the hell that is. I think Chris Chan is supposed to try and become one of those. Okay, so in the next bit, there's also like this whole thing where like Hillary Clinton wins the 2016 election. Not Barack Obama. Brendan Fraser becomes the mayor of Quickville for like a quick second.
Quickville's attacked like 5 separate times. Christine Chandler and Chris Chan, like seriously, we have Sonichu generations here. Like Christian Chandler and Christine Chandler are basically fighting because apparently he decided to abolish women right at the same time they became trans. Okay. What else? Oh yeah, Nazis. Literal fucking Nazis are here. Obviously, again, I'm not editing this video, so I can't show you it, but yeah. Actual Sonichu Nazis. And I don't mean like the neo-Nazis or anything like that. No. These are like actual 1940s German soldiers that then try and fuck Rose Chews. Yay. All these random Rose Chews. And, oh god, they then turn into Sonichus themselves. Basically, they give up after that because they don't have a common ideal. They don't think their blood is pure or anything like that. Because that was, kind of the whole thing with them German soldier. But, like, I'm not joking when I say Sonichu's things are a real thing. Anyways, basically, the main characters get rewritten to be edgier, like how Wild Sonichu. Remember how he's the grass guy? Now he heads into weed. Whoa! And now Bubbles Rose Chew. You know how her main defining personality trait was the fact that she was interested in Black Sonichu? She's now a trans black man. Okay. Okay. And then we have a memoriam for Rose Chew and how she is trans and all that stuff. Oh my god. Yet for somehow she can still give birth to Sonnies and Rosies? Fuck if I know, man. Like, did the chaotic rainbow fix this shit or what? What did this fucking stupid ass rainbow do exactly? I don't get it. But yeah, I think you're starting to see onto why things just feel like this. Obviously, I'm going a little out of order, but again, it's just thing that happens, and we're still not done. Now, this is kind of where my knowledge kind of, falls off a cliff. Because, again, Yuri the Awkward still hasn't made a video on the second half of 13 and 14. So I have very limited knowledge when it comes to these two. But at the end of issue 13, there is a moment where Sonichu becomes evil and all that stuff, working for, I guess, Graduan probably. Hell if I fucking know. And Chris Chan says that, and Christine Chandler says that they're gonna fuck Sonichu later, and then he says, nah, I'm too horny right now, I'm gonna fuck you right now, and then everyone gets married. Chris Chan's married 7 people. This was also the issue where Magi-Chan and Mewtwo are in a polyamorous relationship with someone else. Holy fuck. That is really bad considering the chaotic combo's backstory. Oh god. That's really all I remember from issue 13. That's all I can care to remember. And here's kind of the problem. I don't really know anything about issue 14. I don't know exactly what happens in it. Again, this is where my knowledge kind of goes off the deep end, goes off because I don't remember anything that happens. Mainly because, well, I did watch a Club Doom video of watching him reviewing all the Sonichu stuff. And what I remember from that is that issue 4 is like a redraw of some of the sub episodes. So that's why I didn't really mention it. And that issue 14 really didn't get covered in it. He mainly just talked about, well guys, it looks like this is the end of Sonichu. There's not a whole lot left to talk about. It's like, okay, what happens in issue 14 though? What actually happens? Because I don't know what happens in issue 14. So yeah. And again, issue 15 basically doesn't exist yet because Chris deadass spelt paint onto the cover. So that's great. I think there's also a redraw of issue 0 in the works with Christine as opposed to Christian. There's like a couple other Sonichu comics and all that stuff that I don't think are ever haven't been written yet. We've only seen like the cover for those. And then Chris decided in a tweet to mention the fact that while they were if they were in jail, that in an alternate timeline there would have been an additional 300 issues of Sonichu. And hey, it's also the dimension where I actually work on videos. So yeah. So yeah, that's basically all the Sonichu lore that I care to remember. Yeah, in conclusion, God. Fucking, this shit killed me. It's really bad. Oh no, I'm dying. I ran out of things and stuff because now I'm dying. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want and enjoy the rest of your day. I'm good. I still need to end the video, obviously, before I die permanently.